Silverthorne off the boards, gets the break, goes with him. Silverthorne puts it onto the back post. Puts it into the back post, and it goes forward from Macaulay Haywood, having the right hand over the top, throwing it in, and Miller's going toe to toe, and he's got 3 or 4 headshots, and then drags him down. Still has it. Zabo being sort of marked out the game by Tom, and the shot comes from forward now. Babrea with plans. Babrea walks in, shoots,
and he picks up his own rebound and
Zabo, and he's not happy about that. It was a late hit, the hit from behind, and you see the players.
Good evening and welcome to Icing Tonight. In tonight's programme, the Telford Tigers take on the Basingstoke Bison. But first, let's take a look at last week's action when the Tigers took on the Swindon Wildcats.
Puck drops. Silverthorne wins the draw. It's Babrea that's lining up in the middle for the Swindon Wildcats. D-to-D pass from the Tigers. Forward to Silverthorne. Hetherington was delayed on her call. The Telford bench lit up, and then the delayed call came in. So it felt in time. And a shot and goal! Off the draw. Telford win the draw. On the backhand to Clarkson. Picks up the puck and shoots it in the left-hand side of Stevie Lyle, putting the Telford Tigers on the clock with goal scorer 93, Doug Clarkson, 7 seconds in to a Swindon power play. So suddenly the Telford Tigers take the lead on 2 minutes and 47 seconds. You never know with those little tips where the puck's going to go. If you've got any thoughts on...
Oh, what a cracker of a goal from Sammy Zajac! So the face-off was taken, it went back to Zajac. He let it go straight behind Stevie Lyle. 2-0 Tigers.
Goal number 2 for the Tigers, scored on 7 minutes and 58 seconds. Sam Zajac, and both of Telford's goals have come off the face-off. On that short-handed play, it was one off the draw, went back to Clarkson, wrist shot into the left side over Stevie Lyle, and Stevie Lyle's heading to the bench as Swindon call a timeout now. Oh, and a breakaway from Malasinski from a pass from Babrea, goes in, pulls it, and a backhanded shot. Malasinski played that like it was a penalty shot. He got the pass from Babrea, came in from the sort of top of the circle area, backhanded through to Malasinski. It was no defenseman between him and the net. Drives hard against Gospel, skates to the right, backhands it underneath in the back of the net, and suddenly Swindon put themselves on the clock. He's going to go. Costello pushes the other players out the way. I can't see which Telford player it was.
Kalina.
Oh, it's Kalina. He's saying, come on. Oh, they're going.
Yeah, they're going.
So they're both helmets off, centre ice. We take a look. Smith comes across with the right hand. Kalina gets her uppercut in. They lock out. Smith comes across the top. Then Kalina throws a right. Then Smith comes across the top. Kalina drops. He gets back up. He gets 2 clean hits. And then Smith gets a hit in the other direction. They're tugging and pulling at their shirts. Kalina's going in with a right hand in towards the rib of Smith. Smith comes over the top. They lock out. The referees say, right, okay, off to the box you go. 2+2s or I'll eat my hat. To Whitfield. Off the boards to Hoog at the back of Gretzky's office, to Malasinski, who shoots and scores, and referee Matt Thompson is pointing to the net. There was a bit of a kerfuffle around the net area, questioning him, but Matt Thompson pointed straight to the goal. It was Malasinski that finished it off, I think, from the pass from Hoog at the back of the net, and now you've got a game on your hands. 2-2 at the Telford Ice Rink. Time of the second goal, 36 minutes and 40 seconds.
Well, we were just saying there, it would be nice if Swindon got a second goal to put it...
A message of support, maybe you're watching at the moment. Send us your pictures as well, where you're watching, how you're celebrating your goals. We'd love to see them. Icing_tonight on Twitter.
What do you know?
Cahoon drives in, carries it round, and look at the hands on that guy!
Cracker from Cahoon!
The pass comes in, he carries it over the blue line, he drives net bound like he's taking a textbook penalty shot. Lyle moves towards him, taking the angle away. He pulls it to the right hand, carries it round, tips it in on the backhand, beating Lyle, who lies on the ice. And now the Telford Tigers answer that goal just seconds later, bringing it back to a Tigers 3-2 lead in a fantastic game of ice hockey right here at Telford Ice Rink.
Oh, my tonsils nearly flew out there. What an absolute splendid goal from Cahoon to put the lead back in favour of the Tigers after the Wildcats had come back in that period to level it up.
Whitfield, and he's had a really dominant game as well. Whitfield's been all over it. He's been on breakaways. He's playing hard in defence. He never gives up. Plant gets the pass in front from Silverthorne, rockets the shot, but Lyle says, nope, just standing there, holding that post nice and tight, deflecting the puck behind the net. Great save from Stevie Lyle. Good one-timer from Rick Plant from the pass from Jason Silverthorne from the back of the net. Plant now drives forward. Silverthorne gets it and finds the top shelf. Lyle watches the puck, lifts the right-hand glove. He thinks he's got a glove of save. By the time he lifts his glove into that top corner, Silverthorne had put the puck in the back of the net, and suddenly the Telford Tigers take a power play goal at 39 minutes and 2 seconds. 39:02. Exquisite finish. Nice, cool, calm and collective. Took his time, placed the puck in the top right-hand corner. By the time Lyle's catcher had got to the position, the puck was clearly in the back of the net. Cahorn comes across. The puck cleared down. A high stick from Goodison reaches towards the puck but didn't connect with it. Oakford picks up the puck now behind the net. Banks it off the boards up to Goodison. Plays it off the boards once again to Cahorn, but picked up by Malasinski. Drives down, Babrea's on the back post, but the puck went straight through his legs.
Yeah, an opportunity there, but it was just one of those sort of teeth clenching.
Now a walk out. Malasinski to Lydiard, shoots and scores! Just to the left as we look at it of Sam Gospel's blocker. Carried around the back of the net. I think it was Malasinski that carried out, passed out to Neil Lydiard. First time shot, aims for the left post and just tucks the puck in between the post and the blocker of Sam Gospel. So the Swindon Wildcats narrow the gap to 1 goal. 4-3 the score. Time of goal for 44 Neil Lydiard goes at 45 minutes and 40 seconds. So will that momentum take Swindon another goal to the good, or will Telford take everything that they need to turn the momentum round in their direction?
Well, this is great for us. You know, we want to see this the game be close.
Fantastic game of hockey.
Well, the pressurised
shot from Oakford.
They've had the control.
Sticked away by Lyle. Pulls away as Davies is hovering in the hope of a rebound. But to no avail. Clarkson walks in, shoots a bobbling puck to the left-hand side, and fair play to Stevie Lyle. The puck was upturned on its end. It bobbled across. Clarkson winds up and whacks it, and it goes to the left of Stevie Lyle. Block aside as he stands there, and it beats him to even it back to 1-1 in this period. Power play goal once again from big Dougie Clarkson, getting himself on the clock at 48 minutes and 19 seconds with his second goal of the night. Tigers 5, Swindon Wildcats 3.
I was just on the brink of saying this is the Tigers' second power play of this period, and they've failed to capitalise when Clarkson let that one go.
Phil Hill drives in, shoots, and it just I thought he was dumping that in the corner.
Well, he got a second
but he shot it just to the wide to the right, deflects off the boards, got a second shot, as Alan rightly said, just off the boards there, and Swindon throwing everything off it. Doug Clarkson goes on the skate. Costello skates back with a quick feet, but he can't beat the long reach, and Clarkson pulls inside, and what a save! And the rebound comes down, and you can't take away that initial save from Stevie Lyle. Clarkson drives down the right side, outskates Costello, cuts inside, pulls it to one side. Lyle read it well, went in the right direction, saves with his left shoulder. The puck drops to the floor. There's confusion where the puck is. Matty Davies skates in, taps it into the back of the net for goal number 6 for the Telford Tigers. Scored by Matty Davies, assisted by Clarkson on 50 minutes and 36 seconds for the first time of the night, pulling the Tigers to a 3-goal lead, Alan.
Well, what did Clarkson do there? Absolute magical for a big guy like that to have hands like that and get the shot away, followed up by Matty Davies.
Chris Williams says, watching from Swindon tonight, great game of hockey, always a good game against the Tigers, and there's always lots of passion. Oh, and you had a skate there as Babrea tried to skate through, the defenseman closed the gap, but now, if you keep the forecheck on, there's 7 minutes, if they don't get Lyle out,
here we go.
Silverthorne gives an empty net goal at 57 minutes and 47 seconds. 57 minutes, 47 seconds. An empty net goal for the Telford Tigers with 1:30 left. You ain't going to come up with 4, I don't think. Aston turns up play. Finlinson collides with Aston. He takes a line change. 1:15 seconds left on the clock. Smith drives down the left wing. Clarkson forward to Davies, cuts inside, beautiful hands, looks across to where Clarkson is, thinks, right, I'll take the shot, I'll go for the back post, and Clarkson puts it across. Just as I was saying, Davies Davis drives down the left side, looking across for Big Doug Clarkson, puts the puck towards the back post. Lyle thinks, I'm comfortable, it's not headed net bound, and then that long reach, a big old Doug Clarkson gets on the end of the puck, tucks it in behind Lyle on 58 minutes and 59 seconds, and now we're seeing an 8-4, 8-3 scoreline, 5 goals in it. Who'd have thought this going into the third?
Well, definitely not.
Wow.
I just thought when that pass went across there, I thought, it's in the feed, he can't get to this. And all of a sudden the goal light comes on, and that's because of the long reach.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely.
A convincing win for the Telford Tigers against the Swindon Wildcats, cementing their place at the top of the table. But will they win tonight as they take on the Basingstoke Bison? Find out after the break. Good evening, welcome back to Icing Tonight. The Telford Tigers taking on Basingstoke. Last night you got the win in Bracknell, but not the most comfortable of wins, Sam.
No, I think we controlled a lot of the game, but you know, they're a team that works really hard. It's a tough place to go. Probably wasn't our best performance, but we really did kind of grind it out and get the win in the end. Johnny B played really good in goal for his debut too.
And tonight you're taking on Basingstoke. Quite a few of ex-Tigers players making it over there. I noticed in the whole game there was a bit of tension between some of the guys that have played here in the past. You reckon that's going to happen tonight?
I mean, maybe that's kind of the way that Basingstoke like to play. They like to be gritty, they like to try and get under your skin. I don't think it's anything that's necessarily carrying over, but if they're going to come into our rink and try and play hard, then we're going to obviously try and give it like battling.
So, Alan, tonight the Telford Tigers take on the Basingstoke Bison. Just said to Sam Zajac about players going between the two teams, and he said Basingstoke quite like to mix it up and be quite physical anyway at the best of times.
We're seeing that more and more frequently with all the teams, actually. But yeah, it's always a bit of fun when you're getting some of your ex-teammates back to play against. You know a little bit more about them than you might know about other players. But yeah, it's always good and interesting.
And players have always got something to prove with the team that they used to be with, haven't they? When they play against the team they used to be in, they want to prove how good they were and what they're missing.
Absolutely, you know, and a lot of it is for the fans upstairs as well, because ex-players that come back here always get a little bit of banter from the fans upstairs, whether they like, whether they dislike. It's all part and parcel of it. But any returning player wants to make a point when he comes back.
And Basingstoke, in that top group of the table, always very competitive hockey games.
Absolutely, and a very, very, very professional outfit. They come to win every time. You know, it's always a difficult game against Basingstoke.
Let's take a look at the first period action. Referee Matthews checks in with the bench, lined up in the centre. Plant wins the draw. Kalina back to Zajac, forward to Kalina in neutral ice. Basingstoke stepping up with the hits. That's Scott, who's up.
Well, Dan's got an early hit on Kalina there, and of course I just know that Plant's moved up to the first line with a reshuffle with Silverthorpe missing.
And wearing the captain's C tonight. So chipped over the top from Jones at the back. Scott got a glove to it, picked up out of the corner by Declan Barmer. Couple of big hits being thrown in the corner there. And also Joe Aston, straight out onto the ice.
Well, he's getting some hits in on his early shift. That's the way to do it, get out your system.
And interestingly, that demographic, you've got Kalina with the firepower, you've got Joe Aston, very quick, hard skater, you've got Rick Plant in the centre with experience, and all in all, you've got the impact of that line. You've got all the diversity you need. Rick just tries to nudge around from the back of the net, gets a shove by the direction for Daniel Davis. We're 2 minutes and 6 seconds in, and the Telford Tigers pick up a power play, Alan.
Interesting statistic on I've got the statistics that we always
Good work,
21% scoring rate.
Clarkson
on a power play.
lets the wrist shot go from the top. Davies is trying to dig the puck off the side netting to push it forward. It gets forward by Cahorn up to Oakford. Passes down to the left side. Clarkson steps in, puts it to Davies at the back of the net. Tries to get it in front, but Basingstoke got a triangle of defensemen, not allowing Telford to penetrate. Shot comes in, but the net goes off. And as Hidalowski went from post to post, his skate came in the inside of the right post, and it took the net with it. So a tripping penalty at 10 minutes and 35 seconds. So Basingstoke with their power play. We've had one go each way. Danny Rose, Karpov tries to catch it, but Davis powers forward. Clarkson picks it up, heads down the middle lane, tries to deke it round Kieran Long, picks up the puck, gets the shot away. Pad save from Hidalowski, and an amazing reach round there as Clarkson drives into the end zone, pulls it round the defenseman, allows the puck to trickle on, and then cuts in the middle lane. And Kieran Long's got a long reach as well, but for Clarkson to get round and stick handle the puck round him. It was a fantastic piece of work.
We see Karpov just putting one along the ice there. Kieran Long patrolling.
Backhand up to the point.
Karpov.
First time shot from Karpov. Oh, and the save was made by Sam Gospel. The loose puck then picked up off the reflection by Jarolin, passed across to the back post where they had an empty net goal, and the puck went through the legs of his own player, but Basingstoke had their best opportunity of the night then. Karpov shoots from the point, stick save up into the netting. McEwen gets a touch on the puck, goes deep into the end zone, picked up by Matt Tuwalski. Rand at the back of the net, passes out to the left side. A drive forward now from Kurt Reynolds. Oh, and did he take a high stick? Reynolds has gone down. I'm not sure. I didn't see what happened. The pass came down to the end zone, and Reynolds then, he came out in front of the bench, deflected the puck off the boards, and he's dropped, and he's clutching towards his face. I'm not quite sure whether it was a stick. I can see some blood there.
Yeah, there is blood.
So whether it's his nose, and whether it was a stick or a puck, I'm not sure.
McEwen's going?
No, McEwen's going. So now what will happen is, if that's a high stick, because a high stick penalty with blood is an automatic match penalty, and then if the player returns to the ice during the game, it gets downgraded to a game.
Right, okay. And Danny Rose moving up there for the Tigers. Danny Rose, Paul, has come of age since the shake-up at Telford a few months ago. He's matured brilliantly, and he's stepped up to the mark and done exactly what has been asked of him.
Absolutely. Jump down low. Clarkson's the first man up there. And on a short-handed, he was hanging high on the blue line. That long stretch pass coming up and over the ice. And Clarkson, finishing the hit as well. He's not too happy with whoever that was. That rode into him, forearm and elbow aloft.
Dan Scott going up on the attack there.
Deflected up into the glass. Backhand across.
Looking like they're playing three along the blue line there. Dan Scott went forward and came back. Barmer stayed back. And then Kieran Long was on the blue line there. Three guys on the blue line on a power play.
Play set up now by Dan Scott. Davis hanging high on the red line, just cutting across, looking for that long stretch pass as they set up the play. 2 minutes 22 left in the major penalty kill. So that stays on the clock right till the end. A drive forward now. Backhand comes across. Jarolin picks it up. Dumped down the ice. Goes around the boards. Kept in low by Antonov.
Jarolin's free. It didn't quite get to him. He was
Davis tried to get it through to him, but intercepted by Cahorn. Give and go with Tate. Comes across. What a pass, a shot. And it was Hidalovsky with a glove save that was a humdinger of a save from Hidalovsky.
Tom's asking a lot of these guys tonight. He's got some big names doing extra shifts out there, and it's got to happen like that, I'm afraid.
Antonov. Zajac picks the puck up. Drives around the back of the net. Deflects the puck off the boards. Jarolin.
This is brilliant.
Now, comes through. Kalina ties up with Karpov and virtually puts his arm around him. Lets it go. Jarolin, delayed pass back to
Connolly.
Connolly gets the shot away. Gospel clutches at the puck. It's still free. It's bouncing around a little bit. And Aaron Connolly salvages it for the Basingstoke Bison in front of the team store. Backhands it off the boards, up to the high slot.
It's taken them 4 minutes to get it set up, but finally, and that's off.
Offside called. And Kalina goes to the late hit. Are they going to go? He puts in a bit of a push. He's taken them both. The referee's taken them both out. But I think that looking at the way Kieran Long's body language was, there was no intention of going. He was chirping in his direction. He was hanging onto his gloves, hanging onto his stick. Kalina gave him a shove. I think Kieran Long...
I think Kalina's realised he's not going to go there.
I think Kieran Long was trying to draw a penalty then to get a 5-on-3 power play. And if he'd have done it, it'd been very cute. But they both got 2 minutes. Shot across.
Telford back to 5 skaters.
Antonov.
Back to 5 skaters.
Switches sides. Zajac keeping the pressure on, trying to loop him back, but he switches with Jarolin. Tries to step up into the high slot. Ends up on the floor. Jones is hovering over him. Tate reaches forward for the puck, and the versatility to Warren Tate. A great signing for Telford, as he can play forward, defence, centre, wing, wherever you want him, he'll perform.
He's power killing, penalty killing now with Adam Taylor. So Adam Taylor's stepping up to the market. Well,
Tate,
prodigy at Telford, playing in the lower lines, and here he is penalty killing.
Yeah. Oakford and Goodison. We're back to 5-on-5. The penalty's killed.
Pressure from Telford round the back of net. Warren Tate goes up to the point, but nobody's. Adam Taylor's playing back now in a defensive position. as Sam Oakford repositions himself.
Geraldine turns up ice, backhands it back into his own end.
Final minutes.
As you just heard, the last minute of the first period.
A 0-0 period, but
yeah.
it's been pretty end-to-end, but most of it through neutral ice, if I'm honest, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think they've had one opportunity. It's the best.
Goodison skates back, an offside called.
Hardlowski's lost his stick. It's just lying there about a metre in front of him.
And you can see him just trying to keep it on the ice.
What's coming? Nothing.
Is that net gone off? And the end of the period. We finish up. Telford Tigers 0, Basingstoke Bison 0.
Hardlowski's just having a bit of word, and Matty Davis here, the referee, or the linesman, steps between them, calms that one down a little bit.
The end of the first period, the Telford Tigers 0, Basingstoke Bison 0, an end-to-end period, the majority of the game happening in neutral ice. There weren't too many offensive goal-scoring opportunities for either side, probably 1 or 2 in the whole period, which means as a game of chess, they're sort of neutralising each other out.
They've neutralised each other out, and it made for, in general speaking, a kind of boring first period. We've had a golden opportunity for Telford, the short-handed play. And Basingstoke had an opportunity. The big disappointment for me is I expected more from Basingstoke on that 5-minute power play.
I mean, in fairness, there was a couple of penalties going both ways. No team has been able to penetrate the power play goal on their special tees, which I suppose is testament to your penalty kill.
Absolutely, the teams are matching each other sort of player for player here.
Yep.
And this is exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing a neutralised game, nobody can make the breakthrough. And we keep referring to this game of chess. We're at a stalemate at the moment, and it's just who's got the strongest legs in this game.
And when the shots have come, both Hidalowski and Gospel have come up with some corking saves.
That's it, the netminders have kept the goals away, and it's going to make for an interesting second.
Plant, Kalina and Tate with Jones and Zajac in D. Jordan says Sunday night should be Tigers versus Basingstoke with a glass of Prosecco. Glad you're enjoying it, Jordan. Rose across to Oakford. Oakford dumps it in. It heads round the boards. Warren Tate pushes down into the end zone.
Basingstoke back to full strength. Basingstoke back
High to Charlie, who's following us. Shot comes in. Pad save from Hidalowski. Puck goes out to the wall. Passed around. Oakford tries to get it over the top. A backhand from Adam Taylor.
He nearly got the tip in originally, but
goes across. Connolly carries it out. Switches with Dan Scott, sends it round the boards. Rand deflects it up into neutral ice. Antonov on the break, heads in, shoots! And that hit the face mask of Sam Gospel. The shot came across the sort of top of his shoulder area. No score yet. But Tate goes in on the backhand, shoots.
No, we're all back to full strength. Well,
yep.
It is 5-on-5 now.
Geraldine misses the puck. Comes out to neutralise, a lunge forward.
Look at the break on
shot from Geraldine. He's got a clean shot in the high slot area. Gospel gets to it, but the puck is freed out and heads over to the wall. A great shot from Geraldine after Roll made the pass through to the high slot area. And Geraldine winds up, fires it straight at Sam Gospel, made the save, didn't hang on to the puck. And now another attempt, and he tries to bat it in with his hand, but of course if he did, that wouldn't stand as a goal. And it came across the front there, and the effort rate from Geraldine really making an impression in front of Sam Gospel right now.
Absolutely, the puck fell to him. Fortunately, he made a good go of it. Nothing came, but the pressure now piling on from the Basingstoke Bison.
And then just in front, they tried for the tip in. It was Danny Davis screening Sam Gospel, and suddenly Basingstoke seeming much more control in the offensive end.
Absolutely, as I say, they're camping out now. Telford doesn't seem to be doing anything with it.
Jones carries it forward. Antonov putting him under pressure, passes it off. Joe Aston deflects it off the boards in front of the team store. Basingstoke dumps the puck up ice. Davis gets in the way of it, lunges forward to get it across to Danny Rose, back to Oakford.
We're seeing Cajon, Tate and Matty Davis pushing into that corner again.
It's
Corey Goodison.
So he's playing forward because Danny Rose and Sam Oakford are playing in D. Goodison traditionally. And a kick forward now by Cajon, drives through the two Basingstoke players, shoots on the backhand, and Hidalowski goes for the save. The puck is Did he hang on to it? Did it go under his body? Did it go the side netting? 30 minutes and 18 seconds played. We're halfway through the game, Alan. Karpov wins the draw. Back to the point. Reynolds steps down, shoots. There's a clamour around the net. Gospel made the save. The rebound's dropped at somebody's feet. They're all battling around. That stick came fairly high on Oakford as he clears it out into neutral ice. Goes down. Baird drops it down. Plays it across to Reynolds. Reynolds looks up. Plays the puck off the boards. Tries to find Rand. Joe Aston gets there first. Backhands it off the wall. Only goes back as far as Reynolds. Across to Baird. Looks up. Looks for that pass. Sends it fairly high, tipped on from Tuwalski, comes out of the zone. I thought it did come out of the zone. Davis drives forward now, backhands it across to find Clarkson, but the pass was intercepted and cleared out of the way by Stuart Mogg, skating back for the Bison. Shot from Davis in the slot. Second shot comes across, the puck comes out from Kalina in the slot. He rocketed it home, he just goes over the top of the crossbar.
Well, we've got Davis,
and for the first time you saw a slight Hidalowski covering the puck. What you saw then is Hidalowski made the first save, lovely and clean. The second one came in pretty quick, and you could almost see in the whites of his eyes that panic of he wasn't ready for that second shot. He came up and made the save. The first netminder to get beaten could affect their head in this game so far, because both of them are playing outstanding.
It's important to say as well, 11 minutes 24 seconds it took Telford to mount an attack, and that was what we just saw there. Yep. But now they're continuing on with
Cajon.
Oh, look at him playing.
Great hands in Gretzky's office, shuffling side to side, quickly moving the puck with the stick handling. Oakford drives forward, but Basingstoke protecting that house like their life's depending on it, not letting a Telford player in front of that net area, pushing that wide away from the goal, and that's a defensive coach's dream, the way Basingstoke protected that slot area in front of Hidalowski then.
Most beautifully defended.
Great change. There was a call for too many men there, but the player going off was Stuart Mogg, and he jumped up and sat on the barrier, which effectively deems him off the ice, and it's a legal change to do that. Good play. Rounding. Dumps the puck corner to corner. Yarrelin takes a change. So does Scott. Karpov steps out onto the ice.
I got to say, Paul, 11 minutes it took for Telford to mount that attack. Yep. Good to see. Here we go again.
Cajon drives in, pulls it inside, switches sides, puts it to the high slot. Tate gets a wrist shot. Oh, and Plant comes across. There's a bit of stick work there. I would imagine the Basingstoke bench would be calling for a hooking, but it wasn't. What he did was loop the stick in front of the player, lunged towards the puck, and just took that lane away from them. Again, great body positioning where you establish the ownership of that area of ice. Plant now behind the net, tries for the wraparound. But Hidalowski got that one worked out. The pad tight against the post.
He saw that one coming about 3 minutes.
The puck hustling in the corner now, round the boards. Goes back as far. Jones keeps it down, and he pushes off Roll, who's heading towards him, and now goes down to give him a shove. And Roll giving a theatrical sort of lunge forward in the hope that the referee's going to call some sort of weak penalty. You ain't going to get any weak penalties in a game like this. The referee will
no place for
keep his whistle well and truly in his pocket unless he has to. Well, I certainly would. This is a game of hockey to be decided by the hockey players.
This is turning out to be a better game this period.
It's stepped up a gear, hasn't it, from the first period?
We've seen action from both sides now, which is good. It was all Basingstoke to start with, but Telford have
D to D. Baird shoots.
It's free.
It's loose. And it's in the back of the net. It was picked up. There was a bit of a scuffle around the net, and I think I'm just trying to see his number because the numbers are. It looks like Matt Tuwalski. Yep. No. It isn't. Yes, it is. You're right. Matt Tuwalski finishing up, picking up the rebound and popping it in the back of the net. Sympathies to Sam Gospel there. Came up with a corking save. There's a scrabble around the net. We thought he'd got hold of it. Tuwalski gets a stick to it, puts it in the back of the goal. And now the Basingstoke Bison are first off the mark. I imagine there's a few celebrations going on in households up and down the country now for Basingstoke fans. 13 minutes and 41 seconds in the second period. So 33-41. Tuwalski, the goal scorer for the Basingstoke Bison. And what we want now is a quick answer from Telford.
It has to come. The heads can't go down. The heads have got to get up even
now. Long drives forward, break and shoots and scores. He let a corking wrist shot go. It hit the crossbar and dropped in deep into the back of the net. A quick release shot from Kieran Long, powered over the blue line, drives into the top of the circle, lets the wrist shot go into the underside of the crossbar and down into the back of the net, answering that goal with another one on just 16 seconds, Alan. 33 minutes and 57 seconds. Kieran Long putting Basingstoke 2 goals up. Now we need a goal from Telford.
Well, we were just saying Telford were coming back into it. Cursor the commentator, and the Bison take 2 goals in how many seconds is that, Paul?
Yep.
30 seconds or something like that, is it? It's not very long. But blimey, Kieran Long took that one well. 2-0 Bison.
Thomas and Sarah celebrating the goal. Davis drives through on the right side. Puts a pass into the slot. Kalina's stick was lifted. Good piece of defensive play by Dan Scott. Takes the lane away, lifts the stick. Kalina loses his stick now as it ties up with Karpoff. Delayed offside. Sits against Basingstoke. They clear the zone as Sam Oakford wheels back round into his own end. Takes possession back. Davis steps up. Drives through on the right side. Kalina passes the puck across. Deflects up into the wall. Clarkson makes the hit. Clarkson across to Jones, to Zajac. Zajac shoots!
Oh my word!
Hidalowski got a stick save to it, but he couldn't see much. You could see 3 or 4 bodies between him and the puck. Good traffic in front of the net. But the puck didn't make it in the back of it. Zajac off to the right side to Clarkson, dumps it down. Goodison goes in on the forecheck. Hidalowski plays the puck around the wall. Tate picks it up in neutral ice. Backhands cross ice. Jones drives forward. Goodison skates in.
I think Tom will be glad to see the back of this period. He's going to have some stern words in there, but what can he say to this?
Kalina pulls inside, but the puck's taken off him by Rawle, who dumps it down the pad, and there's a time tick by on the second period. It'll come to an end with the Telford Tigers 0, Basingstoke Bison 2 is how we finish up the second period. We'll start the next period with an 18-second power play in favour of the Telford Tigers. So at the end of the second period, Alan, Telford Tigers 2 goals down. It was a quick succession goal. The difference in the time between the 2 goals, just 16 seconds. Once Basingstoke got momentum, they went straight back at it, and then Telford shifted momentum of the game, but unfortunately didn't get anything on the clock so far.
It's made for an exciting game. You know, we were just saying in that period, Basingstoke picked up the mantle as they came out, and they owned that period. It was 11 minutes into that period before the Tigers made any sort of effort on the Basingstoke net. It came to nothing, and then, as you say, 2 very quick goals. The Tigers' heads didn't have time to go down before the second goal.
It just came straight back at them.
And as I said during the commentary, I don't know what Tom Walker's got. He can only rely now more and more on his most experienced players. That's what he's got to do if he wants to pull something back here.
Both Silverthorne and McEwen stood on the bench watching the game alongside us. Silverthorne with an injury. McEwen kicked out for that high sticking penalty. That's been downgraded to a game because Reynolds is back out on the ice, which is good news for Basingstoke. But it does put extra pressure on a fairly thin Telford bench.
That's what I'm saying. There's only there's a limited number that Tom's got to pick from. Back in the good old days, shall we say, he had a full bench to choose from. Now that's getting thinner and thinner and thinner.
Matthews raises his hand to start the third period and drops the puck. Davis wins the draw. Goes back to Oakford. Cahorn sends the puck round the barrier.
I expect big things from Cahorn this period. He's got to...
And a drive forward there, and grit and determination from Davis. Comes out with the puck. Hidalowski was tied up in his own net. I think he got his skate caught in the back of the net. Basingstoke back to 5 skaters. They pass the puck forward. Picked up by Danny Rose. Last man. Passes forward to Cahorn. Steps up. Backhands over to Clarkson. Davis cleared the end zone. There was calls for offside from the Basingstoke bench, but the linesman stood right in front of them, says nope. Cross-ice pass from Clarkson. Davis picks it up for Basingstoke. Drives on the left side. Connolly winds up for the shot. Pad save.
Well, at the moment it's looking, I don't want to sound defeatist, but Telford have got a mountain decline here because they don't even look coming close at the moment.
That said, you get a lucky bounce and you get a goal. Another quick one follows it and you're back to a tied game. So don't write him off yet. Zajac picks up a penalty.
No.
Sorry, I saw Alice. It was delayed offside. I thought it was a tripping penalty. And to be honest, I thought it was a clear tripping penalty. Gospel makes the save. Kieran Long skates in. There's now cross-checking from Zajac in the direction of Kieran Long. He was hovering over the netminder. Roll onto the left side. Long goes around the back of the net. Oakford directs him towards the boards. 6:52 gone in the third. Plant carries it forward, delays to Kalina, shoots! And that was off the post, a corking shot that built Hidalowski. You saw his head turn around to see the puck was in the net, and the pipework saved it. Reynolds picked up a 10-minute. I never saw that. But I did see the referee go to the bench. It must have been then. He must have chirped.
That must have been for the thing with Clarkson then?
Possibly.
Oh dear.
A shot to the post, and Matty Davies hit the post. He picked up the puck, he let a corking shot go. You hear the rattle of the post as the puck deflected off, and Matty Davies looks to the sky as if to say, oh! Puck down in the end zone now. Antonov, Jones directing him away from the puck, but he comes out with it. So strong on the puck. Up to the point. Played down, round the back of the net. Yarrelin looks for his options. Mogg at the top of the slot. It's sent round the back of the net. Kieran Long working that area, switches sides. Zajac holds him up, pins him to the boards, shoves him away. The puck's underneath and there's a battle to free the puck up. Matthews can see the puck, Plant skates out with it. He gets caught up in a stick, passes forward to Clarkson. It drops from Yarrelin's feet. Tate kicks it forward to Clarkson, who shoots, and it just goes wide to the post and deflects off the boards onto the back netting. Clarkson comes out with the puck, but another close opportunity yet to be capitalised on. Oakford shoots from the point, a wrist shot just centimetres off the ice into the leg pad of Hidalowski, and then directed into the slider's skate shop corner, back out into neutral ice.
4 minutes remaining.
Yeah. You can't go too early because you concede an empty net too early in the game. Oakford delays it. Kalina comes around the back, but look at that step up. Connolly steps into the play, puts it across onto the back post. It was an empty net, and he ended up spooning it and taking it round the net. 3-0. Tawalski on the back post, and the pass comes across. He didn't connect with it. He'd got the empty net. The puck had got to him. Rose pulls him down, and Matthews calling nothing tonight. Well, this time it falls in our favour.
Golden opportunity there.
Clarkson goes to the middle, shoots, and it goes over the crossbar. He'd beaten, and it was shot out, so that's got to be a penalty, right?
Telford haven't come close.
There's a wind-up for the hit with Tawalski.
Look at this.
Roll, walks in, shoots, and fair play to Gospel, taking the angle away, deflecting the puck into the glass, but you almost ended up with a short-handed now. Next whistle, Reynolds returns to the game after his 10-minute misconduct. Kalina drives down the left side, switches sides, 40 seconds, Telford with the man advantage. Tate comes out onto the ice, steps up to the puck. Basingstoke put the pressure on, Roll takes it round, shoots on the empty net, and an empty net goal some seconds after Sam Gospel was pulled. 22, short-handed goal. Roll's the scorer, putting Basingstoke at 3-0. Empty net goal at 57 minutes and 57 seconds. You're right, Alan, you've got to throw everything at it. You've got a one-man advantage. You take the netminder off, you've got the two-man advantage. The turnover came, the pass came, the puck came out to neutralise. Tate was coming in off the bench, stopped, turned, went against it. Basingstoke had got momentum, deflected the puck, it bounced off the boards, it was picked up, then all Roll had to do is put it in the empty net. 3-0 the score, 57-50 on the clock as Basingstoke pick up another goal. Scott sending words of encouragement. Nottingham Panthers, lowest ranked team in the finals, played most games, travelled incredible miles and have won. Nottingham win the Continental Cup. Fantastic day for British ice hockey. Not so good tonight for the Telford Tigers, Alan.
Well, I think, it's... I've got to take my hat off to Basingstoke. They've given us a class in ice hockey here. It hasn't been the most exciting of games, but they've done exactly what they had to do. They defended brilliantly. They've missed a couple of opportunities, but they've also taken a couple of opportunities, and it's been a real pleasure to watch.
Basingstoke back to 5-on-5. Gospel's back in the net now. 1 minute and 30 left on the clock. Shot comes in from Antonov. Body save from Gospel. Zajac throws it through, dumps it down. Icing's washed off. Cahorn is putting the pressure on. He's been clung onto by Mogg. Shot and goal! It comes out through to Sam Zajac with 1 minute and 12 seconds left. Davis drives forward, generates the play. Cahorn was on it as well. Clarkson hangs around. A great goal for the Telford Tigers. Taking it to 3-1, timed at 58 minutes and 48 seconds.
You could say, what if that goalkeeper hadn't been taken off? That would be 2-1 now. But, you could see
and as you rightly said a minute before that, what can you do? Give yourself an extra man. Now a drive forward from Zajac, drive down the left side. Basingstoke play the body. The puck drifts into the end zone. There's 1 minute and 3 seconds left of the game. Cahorn circling around that slot area. Clarkson tries to get it in front. It comes cross, but it goes out to neutralise. Goodison puts the puck D to Zajac. Across now to Plant.
The goal was sponsored by...
Taken into the end zone.
Oh, the net's empty again.
An empty net as Watkins pulls the netminder. The puck just goes to the side. Goodison intercepted by Kieran Long, shoots and scored, and that was the weak pass out, intercepted by Kieran Long at 59-25. Kieran Long scores an empty net goal, taking it to 4-1 at 59 minutes and 25 seconds.
Well, a risk was taken, and was it young Corey?
Bit of naivety with that pass. Kieran Long, tall guy, long reach, read it well, put his stick down, took control. All he had to do is pop it in the empty net. Aston drives forward, winds up, tries to get it through to Kalina. Long intercepts, plays it off the boards. Oakford's last man. It just carries the puck into the corner. At the end of the game, we finish up. Telford Tigers 1, Basingstoke Bison 4. A fantastic game of ice hockey. Thank you for watching.
Tough game tonight, Tom.
Yeah, I think our power play kind of says it all, done it over 6 tonight. With the guys we got out there, with the personnel we got out there, we never really penetrated. We never really got any net front, despite kind of asking constantly.
And that penalty that Corey picked up was a bit of a game changer for you, particularly with the depth of experience on your bench.
Yeah, I think it hurt us, and I didn't see the hit at all, so I can't really comment. But it certainly hurt us from like you say, the rotation, and we've got guys in different spots. We had to mix up lines a fair bit, mix up PP groups, but no excuses. You know what? We didn't manage the puck well enough at times. We didn't get enough pucks to the net. We didn't get enough traffic to the net against a goaltender. That's going to make it hard if he sees the puck.
Looking forward, next week you've got Sheffield at home on the Saturday night, 2 home games with the second leg of the EPL Cup on the Sunday as well for you.
Yeah, games are coming quick. You know, big games on Wednesday in Peterborough for the semi-final of the Cup, and then straight back to the league and then back to the Cup again. So yeah, we've got to make sure that we bounce back quick.
And in terms of players that were missing tonight, is the hope that Jason will be back out for next week? Or
yeah,
where are you sitting with that?
No, Jason will be back on Wednesday. He's been having some treatment that he needs to let settle after having the treatment, so we had to have a couple of days off, as it would have been nullified by skating. So hopefully he will be good to go for Wednesday night. After that, we have to wait and see with Jonathan. He's just really struggling with the recovery part of his injury, and then Corey will be back in the lineup as well.
Corey's back in the lineup because Reynolds is back out on the ice. So not the result Tom Watkins was looking for tonight, going down 4-1 to the Basingstoke Bison. Next week, join us right here on Made in Birmingham for the coverage of the Telford Tigers. 2 home games next weekend. Saturday night is the coverage of the Sheffield Steel Dogs League game. Then Sunday, the Tigers take part in the semi-final of the second leg of the EPL Cup. We'll have the action from both games next Wednesday night from 7, right here on Made in Birmingham. Good night. Sends it up to the point. Silverthorne off the boards, gets the break, goes with it. Silverthorne puts it onto the back post. Zajac puts it into the back post, and it goes forward from Macaulay Haywood, having the right hand over the top, throwing it in, and Miller's going toe to toe, and he's got 3 or 4 headshots, and then drags him down. Still has it. Zabo being sort of marked out the game by Tom, and the shot comes from forward now. Babrea with Plant. Babrea walks in, shoots,
and he picks up his own rebound and
Zabo, and he's not happy about that. It was a late hit to hit from behind, and you see the players